Good morning, Washington Commanders Nation. Day 3 of training camp has already concluded. Washington moved up its Friday practice to 8 a.m. today, and the defense absolutely got after it. Actually got the best of the offense after the offense was pretty dominant through the first couple days. Let's talk about it. What it do and what's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about our Washington Commanders. Today is Friday, July 25th, and Washington just completed its third day of practice of training camp so far. Fourth day in total, including day 0. This is the third practice, and the defense absolutely got after it today. If you were watching Commanders Kings last night, me, Louis T, Street Scores, and Ed, we announced that we're doing our first Commanders Kings live podcast event August 24th at 5 p.m. Doors open at 5. The event starts at 5:45. Tickets are $45. 150 people is the capacity. I will drop that link in the comments below. But come pull up with us and let's break down 53-man roster record predictions for the season. And let's spread some burgundy and gold vibes as we push for a Super Bowl run in 2025. But let's talk about day 3 of training camp. The offense has been sharp and shining through the first couple days, as we expect. The defense is the one working in more parts. And let's be clear, training camp practices are more geared towards the offensive side of the ball. Anywho, but today, the defense got right after it in team drills and 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s and goal line work. Washington was doing what Joe Witt says the main idea of his defense needs to be in 2025, and that is forcing turnover. The defense needs to be opportunistic. There's a world where you do not need a dominant defense, but you need a defense that can flip fields and put the ball back in the hands of your young elite franchise quarterback, Jaden Daniels. So I need them to find ways to force fumbles. And when we force the fumbles, I need us to recover them. I need us to get on the football, all of that stuff. Every time I see the Philadelphia Eagles practice clips, I see their damn defensive players hunting footballs, stripping, knocking it out, peanut punching, and recovering that shit. I need us on that same type of demon time. But Quan Martin tipped a pass from Jaden Daniels early on in practice. Interception by Mikey Sanders-Still. Mikey Sanders-Still had Jalen Lane in hell today. He was pressing him off the line, and Mikey's back in his natural home at inside cornerback because this demon on the screen is healthy this year. He's lighter, he's healthy, and per his words, he will not be playing timid in Washington in 2025. Also, Trey Amos on the other side. That secondary can become a strength when it was a weakness in years prior. Quan Martin's making plays for the second year in a row. I love to hear it. He's tipping passes. Mikey Sanders still caught a pick. Bobby Wagner had a full body extension interception off Jaden Daniels today. I believe that one was in 7-on-7. I know he's going to let Jaden hear about it. I know he's going to be in his ear all week because they have that big brother, little brother relationship, that sibling rivalry. They're in each other's ear. They're talking shit to each other all practice, and they're iron sharpening iron. I know the old man, who they call 55 years old, is going to let the quarterback hear about letting him catch a full body extend. Old man Bobby extending in practice to go up gracefully like Lynn Swan for an interception is something Jaden's going to hear about for quite some time. I need the Washington Commanders content team to make sure we get videos of both of those interceptions. You know, we don't have to only show the Jaden good shit. We can show him throwing a pick or two because we're not concerned with quarterbacks throwing picks in practice. And for those casual fans of the sport that overly analyze statistics in practice and make every single drop back of a quarterback a microcosm of who he is going into the season, Bless your heart. That is not how football works. Offense is going to have good days. We always have good days. If you want to consider today a bad practice for Jaden, that is the first bad practice he's had of his career, and those days are going to be like that. In practice, you're supposed to throw interceptions, guys. You're supposed to make mistakes. Quarterbacks have to know what windows they can fit a ball into, what lanes and what zones do they not need to mess with, and they need to make those mistakes Monday through Friday rather than Sunday. You know what I mean? But love to hear the defense getting after it. Dan Quinn spoke before practice today. He said they were going to do a lot of red zone work and a lot of situational 11 on 11 stuff where both sides would have to adjust to whatever situation they threw at them. His early assessment on Josh Connerly, he just says he has a more professional attitude than they noticed pre-draft, and he's everything as advertised from Oregon so far. He says it's very hard to tell before they start getting physical in practice when it comes to running backs, but when it comes to Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, it's the violence of the cuts that he can get his shoulders square and get downhill. You know we going to start the Bill Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt agenda super early on this channel. They already dropping clips of JCM. He's already getting isolated posts. It's only a matter of time, man. I know he's a 7th round pick, and I'm going to keep continuing this notion that we should not put unfair expectations on a 7th round pick. But boy, is this the situation for a 7th round running back trying to make an identity and eventually start for a team whose running back room contains no Batman at this point. There's no Batman in that room. This is the perfect situation. I'm so ready to see this guy. They posted like a 5-yard goal line carry of this dude, and it got me excited yesterday. I'm going to put that up on the screen right now. I'm going to put it up on the screen because there's clearly a skill set that we don't have, and he has it. He has all of it. Like, just look at the decisiveness. Look at the lateral ability. Look how he bounces. Like, look at the suddenness of the cut. Quincy, the violence in which he cuts. I ain't heard nothing about a violent cut since AP was in his prime. Even old man Rents AP that ran 4,000 here. This is a small run and a little reverse layup celebration afterwards. But, bro, it may sound like Glades. It may sound like I'm sizing it, but just look. Look at the sharpness. Look at that line of horizontal cuttingness and intention he ran with. We all love Brian Robinson Jr. He's not making that cut. Whenever direction Brian Robinson Jr. decides he's running with the football, that's where he's going. There is no shake and bake, and there is no wiggle to him. We need a change of pace guy. Somebody in our chat last night for the Commanders Kings who lives in Albuquerque, he said he's a Lobos fan. He said when Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was here, it felt like every time he got the football, it was going to be a house call. Washington is desperate for one of those in the room. Washington is freaking desperate to have one of those guys in the room, man. I cannot wait to see preseason Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. And here's our guy. Here's our guy, 5, doing what 5 do. Don't need to see him doing too much of that, but you know they got to practice the quarterback designed runs as well. But rough day for the offense today. That's good. It's a good sign that the defense is having good days. We can't have the offense obliterate the defense every day. Also, they added shells today, which is like the small lining under the practice jerseys. Not yet in shoulder pads, but they're gearing up for it. The team is starting to set up the stores for Sunday. Sunday is going to be back together day. I think kids back together day. Training camp is going to be the first day open to general admission public. I might be going. I might not be going. I will let y'all know on Saturday afternoon at some point. But as far as today is concerned, if you want a more detailed analysis of what took place today yesterday and the day before. I will be having NFL insider and reporter for the Washington Commanders, Lake Lewis Jr., my guy, my brother. He will be on the show in a couple hours at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He might be calling in straight from the park. So he's going to let you know what players stood out, what players have been quiet so far. What things do we need to know? What is the intensity like? We're going to get some boots on the ground analysis from our guy, Lake Lewis Jr., as we are 3 days into practice and 4 days into 2025 Washington Commanders training camp. Terry McLaurin's holdout update is now up to $50,000 a day, meaning his current fine is $200,000. I believe there's still a way that the team can void that out once he gets pen to paper on wax for a contract extension. Fingers crossed we get some type of resolution on that sometime soon so we can see the full arsenal of Jaden throwing it to Debo, Terry, Lane, Noah Brown, and company. And speaking of Noah Brown, good to see Noah Brown back at practice today. Noah Brown is back running around, stretching, and working out with the team. We thought that could potentially be a bad injury or something serious, but it's a good sign that he's back because we need all hands on deck to start the season. I cannot wait to get to this one, y'all. I cannot wait to get to this season, man. I would love to have Terry back. I would love to have Terry back by these damn joint practices, man. I want us to shine and outclass the fuck out of the New England Patriots, bro, because I still remember being at those joint practices where they absolutely cooked us and Brady couldn't put the ball on the ground one time and Robert couldn't make a single complete. I remember those days very vividly. I want us to outshine on those boys. Yes, they made a lot of productive moves this offseason. They not this, though. And I would love to see us have a full arsenal of playmakers for that. And I want Terry in game shape. I don't want the risk of soft tissue injuries because he missed the conditioning phase of the preseason. I don't need any of our starters to be playing in the preseason, to be honest. I don't care about none of that. Oh, but what if I don't have any concerns about chemistry when it comes to this team. Dan Quinn is the ultimate professional, and he's going to have these guys ready to go. And Marshawn Lattimore looks great. We're watching Debo Samuel on the screen right now. I had Marshawn on the screen earlier. Marshawn is like that X factor piece that if he returns to the version of the player that we originally traded for, fully healthy, lighter, limber, and confident again, boy, you look out, because that helps the pass rush, that helps the second unit, and it helps the last unit of the defense. And the cornerback room becomes one of the strengths of the defense. And you're going to see significant progress of this defense if Marshawn Lattimore is who we think he is in 2025. But great day for the defense. Offense struggle, no concerns. Jaden Daniels was all smiles and walking around with Mikey Sanders-Still's baby girl at the end of practice. We love the family, camaraderie, brotherhood vibes we got in the building. We just got to get our guy 17 back in the building as well. But I'm going to get ready to get out of here. And me and Lake will be live on the channel at 1:30, chopping it up. He's going to give us his in-depth insider observation. And Lake always gives it real. He's not going to bullshit us. He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to give it to us completely real when he comes on the channel. But one more time on the way out, if you missed this on Commanders Kings last night, we announced our first ever event, our first ever live podcast. Me, Rico, Ed, Louis T. We will be live on August 24th from Crystal City Sports Pub, not Crystal City Restaurant or the Titty Bar, Crystal City Sports Pub in Arlington. Doors open at 5. The event starts at 5:45. We're going to be running to about 9 o'clock, so expect us to all be rambling and fellowshipping in burgundy and gold glory for about 4 hours or so. Get some food, get some drink, and come vibe with us, man. Y'all going to be asking us questions, panel style. We're going to be recording and live streaming with a live audience. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you pull up. This is in collaboration with Hilltop RVA. Shout out to Hilltop RVA, Crystal City Sports Pub. We got 150 tickets on sale for $45 each. They've already been moving. Make sure you get yours so you could come fellowship with the Kings. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Let's make this fun, because once we establish this rapport at this venue, we can start having watch parties during the regular season, watch parties during the postseason, and dare I say, a one-day, fingers crossed, Super Bowl watch party with the Commanders, Kings, and all of us deep as hell, live from Arlington, Virginia. If you're in the DMV or if you're traveling up from another city or state, come rock with your boys at Crystal City Sports Pub on August 24th, a month from now. Let's get active. Hail to the Washington Commanders. I'll be live in a couple hours with Lake Lewis Jr., Bleed Burgundy and Gold, all that stuff. Until next time, Commander Rio out.